Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video. I know the audio is not alright yet. I'm recording on my laptop where I still haven't figured out why my audio isn't working the same as on my computer. So I'm now recording with my AirPods. So the sound should be better than the default audio from the laptop. But it's still not great, so hopefully you can bear with me. But for now, let's get right into the video. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. We had a relatively decent, well, strong opening, of course. As you can see, Bitcoin dropped down all the way to the value area right here that we had during the second half of last week, right? So before we broke out, dropped down into that, but then instantly broke back out of that. So that's well, that's pretty interesting price action, to be fair. But that means also, if you take into account the TPO right here, like we have a relatively wide opening base right here. Which usually suggests stability, and then outside of that, we open slightly lower than the value area we had yesterday. But we have been able to reclaim back into that, and there's no significant reason for me to believe, even though the POC, so where most of the volume has been traded, is slightly lower. There's no reason for me to believe that that will drop back down below our main support level between 94,000. 93,000.6 instantly after, right? So I think overall right now it's looking pretty stable. The volume is practically the same. That's Monero. We'll talk about that later. Volume is practically the same as yesterday. It's slightly higher with an increase of about 11%. That will certainly increase over the course of today, of course, especially when the US market opens. But so far, my initial thoughts are stability, all right? And stability, when the chart looks like this on the 4-hour time frame, is, well, essentially bullish, right? Because when we have stability and when there's no clear indication that the price is going to be falling or that the price is reversing, which at this point of time there is no reason to believe we are going to reverse, even though it's a possibility. And again, one of the main determinants of that is going to be the US session and what's going to happen there. But at this point of time, there's no reason to suspect a reversal. So that's why, even though I think stability, especially for the next couple of hours, is still most likely. So that would be stability between 95,000 and 94,000 to keep it simple, but you know, for the price to move a little bit beyond those edges, that's fine, of course, right? But some stability, and then I would say it's most likely that we're going to get that move to the upside right here, into the previous highs right here at 95,800. Those are not weak highs. You can already see with the candle we made after hitting those highs. It was tested. We might still find some intraday resistance there though, and then the main target is a little bit higher towards 96.5 thousand. All right, that's where we're trying to go. And at this point in time, even though there's also no major indication right now in the short term to break out, getting a move in that direction is most likely. But there's a couple of things we do need to be aware of over the course of today. For example, last week, a couple of the most important things were US equities. So far, pre-market is trading a little bit lower, but essentially this is stable. We want to see a bullish continuation for this. That would increase the chances for Bitcoin to rally into the next resistance level. And then we need to see some strong volume coming in with a Coinbase Bitcoin premium, right? At this point of time, we still have that premium, but we also did not have much activity or much change over the course of the weekend, so that's normal. And the volume, we'll have to see, right? And that's something we'll see during the New York opening. I thought about live streaming during the open, so let me know if you'd be interested in that, because it's going to be quite interesting, I think. But for now, as long as we have no indication to suspect otherwise, I'm going to say that, you know, getting a pullback right here, you know, quite likely. We have quite a lot of imbalances here to the downsides, but I do think we'll hold support, and I do still think at this point of time we can see continuation. Now, if today we hear that Michael Saylor bought, I don't know, $2 billion of Bitcoin, and we do not see the same strength coming in during the New York opening as we saw last week, then things fundamentally start to shift, and then a breakdown below 94,000 is a possibility. But like I said, as I see no reason to suspect that right now, I don't think that's most likely. But those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know. So for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.